Good evening in Europe. Good afternoon on the East Coast. Good morning on the West Coast. This is John Perivale with Access Arts Live, bringing you the weekly roundup of live streams of chamber music and smaller ensembles and theatrical concerts and sophisticated chamber music concerts. All sorts of things we have going on, from Brooklyn to London to Madrid to the Catholic Cathedral in Moscow. And I'd like to start out right away with telling you about this, about what we have coming up for you at the Catholic Cathedral in Moscow, because it's just a half an hour from now that it will be taking place. There. Christmas is over for many of us, maybe most of us, but not everybody. The Catholic Cathedral in Moscow is still live streaming for you several last Christmas concerts this week, because in some countries like Russia and Ukraine, the big Christmas holiday is January 6th, and the real big holiday is New Year's. So you have New Year's and January 6th concerts mixed in, but these are continuing through this week. Tuesday, January 7th, Artbene will be live streaming from the Catholic Cathedral in Moscow, a concert with two organists, mandolin, a storyteller, and sand animation, bringing to life Gogol's The Night Before Christmas. That's at 7 in the evening, European time, 1 in the afternoon on the East Coast, 10 in the morning on the West Coast, 9 o'clock Moscow time. This is part of the continuing 17th International Christmas Festival at the Roman Catholic Cathedral. There's an entire group of artists involved in putting it on. You can see there in the top two pictures. You can see Lydia Miller, who is a sand animation artist, and then on the right hand side you can see what the sand animation looks like when it's projected on a screen. And then we also give you a photo of the cathedral organ and of the mandolin player who's a part of this, who is Olga Egorova, who is quite a well-known and accomplished mandolin player. And there will also be Ingeborg Lubomirska, who is an actress who specializes sometimes in this kind of narration. She will be narrating the story, Gogol's The Night Before Christmas, while the organist will be playing. It's two organists. It's the cathedral organist for the Roman Catholic Cathedral, Anna Vetlugina, and also the organist from the Anglican Church of St. Andrew in Moscow, Dmitry Maximenko. So then Olga Egorova on the mandolin, Lydia Miller doing the sand animation while this is ongoing, and Ingeborg Lubomirska telling the story, with mixed into it music of Vivaldi, Liszt, Tchaikovsky, Rimsky-Korsakov, and Christmas folk melodies. How can you go wrong with a lineup like that? If I were you, as soon as this live stream is over, I'd run over to watch it right away, because it will be starting in 26 minutes time. It's 6:34 in Europe as I'm live streaming, and it will be starting at 7 in the evening European time, which is 9 in the evening Moscow time. Now, there are two more concerts coming from the as part of the International Christmas Festival, and even though the Roman Catholic Cathedral keeps telling us, no, this one is the last one. So the next one is coming up, which is tomorrow, on Wednesday. So let me tell you about that one now as well. Do I have another photograph to go with that? Well, I have a nice photograph of the Catholic Cathedral in Moscow. So why don't we put that up there so you know where this is taking place? Well, it was supposed to just go up there, and it didn't go up. So let's try it again. Will it go up this time? There you go. It's a magnificent cathedral. And the organ is an organ that was given to it by a reformed cathedral in Switzerland about 22 years ago, back in 2002. It has at least one 32-foot pipe, which is very low if you know about organs and pipes. Wednesday, January 8th, the Catholic Cathedral in Moscow live streams the closing ceremony of its 17th International Christmas Festival. This will be at 7 o'clock in the evening European time, 1 o'clock in the afternoon on the East Coast, 10 o'clock on the West Coast. That's on Artbene's YouTube channel. This will be the Moscow Chamber Orchestra, an operatic soprano, Ekaterina Monsova, 2 violins, Anna Volishina and Mikhail Zontov, and Ekaterina Spirkina on the organ. This is thought to be the farewell chord of the Christmas festival, but it's not, because there's another concert coming up on Saturday, of which we'll also tell you about. Anyway, they'll be playing Bach, Vivaldi, Corelli, Mozart, Elgar, Holst, and Christmas carols, and a partridge in a pear tree. Now, there's one more Christmas concert coming up for you, the final Christmas concert. And let's go back to let me show you Lydia Miller in action, the sand artist. I just find this sand animation so magical. You know, it was created by a woman named Caroline Leaf back in the 1960s. She was a student at Harvard back in the 1960s, which was unusual because until the 1960s, Harvard didn't take women. Women had to go to Radcliffe. So she was already exceptional in that sense. And she, for a master's thesis, I think it was, she created a film called Sand, and she did sand animation in it. And now sand animation is everywhere. So it's, I don't know whether it's very popular in the United States, but you'll find it in places like Canada, Albania, Russia, Ukraine, Norway, etc. So let's talk about this third and final concert. Saturday, January 11th, the final Christmas concert of the International Christmas Festival at the Roman Catholic Cathedral in Moscow will be live streamed by Artbene. It's Tchaikovsky's The Nutcracker, presented as a musical fairy tale with sand animation. That's at 6 o'clock in the evening, European time, noon on the East Coast, 9 in the morning on the West Coast, 8 in the evening, Moscow, broadcast free of charge on Artbene's YouTube channel. It's a great channel. The orchestra, this will be the organ at the Roman Catholic Cathedral, also the Chamber Orchestra, Academy of Russian Music. The actress Ingeborga Lubomirskaya will be providing narration, and Lydia Miller, whom you see there in the picture, will be doing sand animation. We're also told that the New Year's ambiance. New Year's is a much bigger deal in some countries like Russia than it is in the Western countries. It will be enhanced by colorful lanterns and Christmas trees. Still, on the 11th of January, and you'll have the projected on a big screen will be the sand animation. So it's the Nutcracker story told by sand animation and narrated by actress Ingeborga Lubomirskaya. Sounds like another lovely presentation, and that really will probably likely be the last of the Christmas time animations or concerts going on at the Roman Catholic Cathedral in Moscow. Now we move on to another series of concerts. I'm not giving you all of these offerings in strict chronological order. In the description, where we give you all the dates, times, and live links, we will do that in strict chronological order, so you can go down through the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But here I have groups of concerts, for instance, by the Roman Catholic Cathedral, and now 3 live streams, which will be done by the Juan March Foundation in Madrid, which I'll give you one after the other, even though they're not in sequential order. I will give you in their sequential order, but not in mixed in with the order of these other live streams. Just trying to make this coherent for you, and also so you know, well, I like the Roman Catholic Cathedral kind of thing. I want to follow them on YouTube, or I like the 1 March thing, which is called March Vivo, and you want to follow them. Okay. The 1 March Foundation in Madrid is on a tear this week, beginning 3 live stream series of sophisticated chamber music, combining both. Hold on just a moment here. Let me move along to another image before I do this part of the. Of this live stream. Let me start that over again. Wednesday, January 8th, March Vivo live streams the masterful French harpsichordist Christophe Rousset, playing the works of Couperin, composed under the patronage of members of the French court. This will be on the March Vivo YouTube channel, Wednesday, January 8th, 6 in the evening, European time, noon on the East Coast, 9 in the morning on the West Coast. Christophe Rousset is not just a harpsichord player. He is like it. Not long after he finished his studies at the Scola Cantorum in Paris and then the Royal Conservatory of The Hague, he founded a group called Les Talents Lyriques in 1991, and they became a premier music ensemble. So he's the founder of that ensemble. He's an internationally known clavier or keyboardist of various kinds. He's also an orchestra director who is very interested in opera. And so he's like every man when it comes to music. And there's his picture there. He has also, when it comes to the harpsichord, he's recorded the works of Couperin, Rameau, Dangolbert, Royer, Dufly, Forqueray, Balbas, Scarlatti, and more. I mean, the list just goes on. And he teaches master classes and academies, and he does musical research and writes these monograms and everything. He's a Chevalier de la Légion d'honneur in France and a Commandeur des Arts et Lettres in France. So what's he going to be playing? Well, this series, which is called, let me get the name of it right. It's called Earning a Living. Oddly enough, he's going to be playing pieces that Couperin composed under the patronage of members of the courts. Now, this social context says something and does something to the music and how it's composed and how it's played and what it's for. So he's going to be playing a long list of pieces by François Couperin, exclusively Couperin in this piece. Couperin is late 17th century, early 18th century, 1668 to 1733. And he came out with one of his early works was called L'art de toucher le clavecin, the art of playing the keyboard. And so there'll be selections from that. He also has 4 books of works for the clavecin or the harpsichord, and he'll be playing different extracts or pieces from these 4 different books. If you're interested in early music, it's hard to do a better concert than one by Christophe Rousset playing the harpsichord and going through the music of Couperin this way. Yeah. Okay. But that's not all. These people are, March Vivo has 2 more concerts going on this week that I need to tell you about. Okay. Their next concert is by this guy, and this is really over the top. Okay. That's Anthony Romaniuk, surrounded by 4 different keyboards, as he will be during this live stream that I'm about to tell you about. Saturday, January 11th, noon in Europe. March Vivo live streams musical polyglot Anthony Romaniuk on the harpsichord and piano, playing Johann Sebastian Bach, C.P.E. Bach, Mendelssohn, Bartók, and Beethoven, 2 centuries of fantasies by canonical composers performed on 4 different instruments. How about that? The concert is called Improvised Transitions. It's at noon European time, and I don't know how you're going to watch it in the U.S. because it's 6 in the morning on the East Coast, 3 in the morning on the West Coast. It's lovely for those of you who are down under, and I will make sure that this clip goes to there's at least one early music group in Australia that we have on our list that we send out to. And this is about the art of improvisation, which Romaniuk considers to be at the heart of the composing of fantasies. So he's going to be in between these pieces that he's going to be playing, which I'm about to tell you about. He is also going to be freely improvising transitions between some of them to give you an idea of how you can improvise from one improvised fantasy, which originally was in the spirit of improvisation, to another. So by C.P.E. Bach, he'll be doing the fantasy in F sharp minor. He'll be doing Bela Bartok's Fantasy number 2 from 4 pieces for piano. He'll be doing Beethoven's Piano Sonata Quasi una Fantasia, number 13 in E flat major. And then he'll be doing a piece by Bach, but I'm sorry, my notes don't show exactly what piece he's been doing. Now, he's going to be playing a Taskin harpsichord model, an original historic Pleyel piano, and a Steinway grand piano for this concert. We will give you the link. I think we'll be giving you the link also to Anthony Romaniuk, so you know more about him. He's a recitalist chamber musician, continuo player who regularly performs all over the place. He's got 2 albums out for Alpha Classics. One was called Perpetuum in 2023, and one was called Bells in 2020. And then finally, we end up with Sunday. One more concert coming to you from March Vivo. And for this one, I don't think I have a photo of the young man involved. Sunday, September 12th, noon in Europe, March Vivo's Young Performers series live streams Mihaly Berech, contrasting the sound of a contemporary piano with the sound of a 19th century piano, playing Haydn, Bartok, Debussy, and Chopin. At noon in Europe, which is 6 in the morning in the U.S. and on the East Coast, and 3 in the morning on the West Coast. I don't know how you're going to get up for that. He'll be playing Joseph Haydn's sonata in F major. He'll be playing Bela Bartok's improvisation on Hungarian folk songs. I think that's what it is, because my notes here, this is from March Vivo. The notes are from Madrid. It's Improvisazione sobre canciones campesinas húngaras. So you figured that out. He'll be playing some etudes from the first book of Claude Debussy's Etudes, which includes the piece for 5 fingers, for 4, for 3, for 6. No, I think that's for thirds, for fourths, for sixths, for octaves, and for 8 fingers. Yeah, that's how that works. Pour les 5 doigts, pour les tiers, pour les 4, pour les 6, pour les octaves, et pour les 8 doigts. And then he will. I'm just trying to tell you it so that at least if you're French speaking, you'll get it right in case my English translation was messed up. And he'll be playing Frédéric Chopin's Sonata number 2 in B flat minor. The instrument he'll be playing is a Pleyel piano constructed in 1853. Now, in his view, the modern piano that we have today reached its current configuration in 1880. So he's giving you the sound of what the different nuances were on a piano constructed before things congealed in 1880. We have 2 more live streams to tell you about, and then we'll be finished. And these are out of chronological order. Thursday, January 9th, the ever high quality Gotham Early Music Society continues its Midtown concerts live streams with the Baltimore Consort performing Shakespeare, The Food of Love. That's at 1:15 p.m. on the East Coast, 10:15 on the West Coast, 7:15 in the evening in Europe. Let Shakespeare, The Food of Love, as in if music be the food of love, play on. The participants in this group will be Danielle Svonavek, the soprano, Marianne Ballard, treble and bass viols, Mark Kudek on the cittern, Larry Lipkiss on bass viol, recorder, crumhorn and gems horn, Ron McFarlane on the lute, and Mindy Rosenfeld on flute, fifes, bagpipes, and crumhorn. This is the Baltimore Consort has been around since 1980. So we're talking 44 years here, folks. So they're very expert in what they've been doing, and they've been exploring early English, Scottish, and French popular music for 4 decades, though. They have a slew of recordings on the Dorian label, where they've been recognized as top classical crossover artist of the year by Billboard. They've had rave reviews elsewhere. We'll give you the link so you can look up more of the details. They're what they're impressed by is the way that Shakespeare was writing for every level of spectator. From the groundlings who could hum along with their favorite tunes to the aristocrats who could enjoy the harmony or embroidery around the melody. And so that's what they want to recreate for you. And they are very likely to succeed in doing so. If you're an early music follower, I don't think that you want to miss this one. It's free of charge. Why would you not? And we have one more live stream for me to tell you about this week. This, too, is going to be an interesting one. St. Mary's Perivale winds up this week of chamber music concerts with a theatrical concert or musical theater, Dear Father, about Mozart and his father, with the Bridge Quartet and actor Christopher Kent, who specializes in just this sort of work. That'll be on Sunday, January 12th, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, English time, 4 in the afternoon in Europe, 10 in the morning on the East Coast, 7 in the morning on the West Coast. The Bridge Quartet will be playing in this concert 3 quartets by Mozart. Quartet number 4 in C, quartet number 15 in D minor, and quartet number 23 in F. That's Kerschel number 157. Kerschel number 421, and Kerschel number 590. Although the third of these, that quartet number 23 in F, they will only be playing the finale. Okay, now everybody knows the story of Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, who was a child prodigy, was performing at the age of 6 and publishing symphonies by the age of 8. But whenever you have one of these child prodigies, there's a parent behind the scenes. I mean, this is an old story, and Wolfgang Mozart's father, Leopold, was himself a composer, a minor composer, and a violin tutor who was guiding and shaping the young man's life as he took him around the cities of Europe through the years of his early childhood. So this theatrical concert uses this music. It's woven in with narrative and readings by the actor Christopher Kent, who specializes in this kind of thing. Let me show you an image of Christopher Kent as well. I'm sorry I don't have the two of them combined so you can look at them at the same time. There are actually 2 Christopher Kents. I think I'll give you the one with the beard. Looks more distinguished. There's Christopher Kent. I could also show you a picture of him without the beard. Anyway, and the narrative in these readings will illustrate for you the correspondence between father and son, which continued throughout their lives. So this is highly interesting. The Bridge Quartet, they're chosen artists for EM recordings, and they've done marvelous work with rediscovering neglected works by people like Norman O'Neill, Sir Hubert Parry, Hurlstone, Howells, etc. Now, as for Christopher Kent, he has worked on stage, on screen, radio, does a lot of voiceover work, a lot of references to him as a voiceover actor online, and he has been doing these kind of theatrical concerts, something that I've done myself, actually. I did that with Old American Songs of Aaron Copland, weaving stories all around the songs. But he has been working regularly with the pianist, Gamel Kamas, and they have created a series of these kind of story things, which have been very successful. One of them is called Never Such Innocence, which is described by BBC Radio as, quote, an incredibly moving performance. These are not just simple readings. They also have a piece done to Tennyson's epic poem Enoch Arden, as set to music by Richard Strauss, which is, there's a CD out for that. They have a piece called Exquisite Harmony about the lives, loves, and music of Robert and Clara Schumann and Johannes Brahms. The three of them were sort of, they loved each other. And they have a new production, which was also performed at St. Mary's Perivale live stream during the fall. It's called Shakespeare's Venus and Adonis. And that's going to be the opening concert of the Shakespeare and Music Festival in Stratford-on-Avon in May 2025. So this should be, if you're interested in more theatrical sorts of live streams, we're very happy that this is one, because I'd like to see a lot more theater being live streamed. We find so much, we find so many concerts, symphonies and chamber music and organ recitals and piano recitals, and we find some opera, and we find a little less ballet, and at the CBU Music Theater Festival, which takes place in June, we will have lots of live streams of theater pieces for you. See, I have worked with the CBU Festival in the past, helping them to live stream conferences, and never got to the next step of helping them to live stream actual performances. But they've been interested in this since 2019, and it's just wonderful of them to do so, to live stream theater to global audiences. This is another opportunity to do that. So if you're a theater person, and we will make sure that this separate clip goes out to theater people, this is one you don't want to miss as an example of how you can bring theater together with other performing arts, notably with music, to enlarge a live stream audience. That's what we have for you for this week. Let me remind you, if you're watching this video, this live stream or a clip of it on Facebook, it's lovely if you like the video, but we'd like it even more if you go to our Access Arts Live page and like the page, because then you'll be following us and you'll get our notices. If you're watching us on YouTube, the same thing is true. If you can go to our main page and click on subscribe, or underneath this video, click on subscribe, then you can be sure that you will get our other notices. And the same goes for our other videos. We're on X, we're on TikTok, we're on Instagram, we're on Threads. We're trying to be everywhere. We're on LinkedIn, because I want as many people as possible to have access to this. And I guarantee you this: if you subscribe to us or follow us or like us, you will get more than 1,000 live links to live streams of live performances of opera, ballet, symphonies, chamber music, contemporary compositions, as much theater as we can find, and any other performing arts that we can find for you in 2025. There will be no problem giving you that. At least 100 live streams a month is very doable. It's what we did in our first 6 months of operation, 2024. Have a great week. I hope that one, some, or more, or any or all of these live streams inspire you, uplift you, or just give you a great time, and for any of them on YouTube, look for us in the chat box. And if you see us there, say hello, Arts Live, and let us know we were the ones who sent you there. And if we're not there, let the moderator know, hey, Access Arts Live sent me here. Ciao for now.